So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again. We're going to talk about William Saliba, and the whole host of clubs that are looking to sign him with less than 2 years left on his contract. And yes, I remember Vinay Venkatesham sitting with at the time the name he was given was Don Raul Sanelli. And they both sat there with Laura Woods with the wet floor signs everywhere, saying that anybody who goes into the last 2 years of the contract will either be offered a new contract or will leave, and we will sell them. Well, so far, we have a trio of players that are into the final year of their contract, or final 2 years, sorry, should I say, of their contract, that don't appear to be signing, but we're going to talk about all three of them in a second. Before I do move on to that, make sure you follow my TikTok. We're on 250 on that right now. Only set that up 2 days ago. Big up to everyone who's followed that. I will be doing a giveaway when we hit 1,000. So make sure you hit the link in the description of the video and go straight to TikTok and follow me over there. I'll be posting clips of videos and stuff like that on there. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Make sure you do fire the likes up as well. Appreciate that. And big up to everybody who's subscribing. Subs are flying at the minute. So big up to everybody. Despite Arsenal winning, and apparently me only getting views when Arsenal lose, the views are doing pretty well. They're all thereabouts the same. The subs are up. The watch time's up. Hallelujah. Who knew? But anyway, let's start off with William Saliba. Like I said, he's in the last 2 years of his contract. The biggest club that are in for him, are they a big club? Well, okay, the best team that are in for him, best club that are in for him are PSG. And when you have a look at PSG's centre-backs, they haven't really got a lot. And people sit there and mock that and laugh and go, ha, 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 whatever. But when you actually break it down, they've got 36-year-old Sergio Ramos. Well, let's be real. He's going to be finished, kaput, done, dusted real soon. They've got a 17-year-old called Bishabiu. I've butchered that fella's name. Apologies. But he's 17, just turned 17. Other than that, they have Presnel Kimpembe, 27 years old. A few clubs in the summer window were looking at him, so it wouldn't surprise me if they were going to let him go. The guy's always injured as well, by the way. He's currently injured right now. And then they have Marquinhos, who is 28 years old, just turned 28 years old. So they're kind of not old, but they're in their what you would think are their prime years. Both of them I don't really rate that highly, like especially Kimpembe. That guy, every time I see him, I think he's having a nightmare every time. Marquinhos is the better of the two, and he chips in with goals, but they're pretty light on centre backs, if I'm honest, and they are going to be looking to buy centre backs. Yes, obviously we know that they're top heavy. They've always been a top heavy team in the last 10 years or so, but that is the only four centre backs if you include the younger lad in there. That's the only 4 centre backs they've got. One of them's 17, one of them's 36. So I think they're going to be in the hunt for a centre back. Now, having said that, that doesn't necessarily mean it is William Saliba, but after a fantastic year in France, not the only time he's had a fantastic year in France, by the way. The guy is quality. We know this. We loaned him back to the French league at Marseille, and he won Young Player of the Year. Now, he's obviously not signing a new contract anytime soon. Otherwise, it would have been done and dusted. He has got less than 2 years left. In fact, he's got, about 18, 20 months, something like that. If we let this guy go into the final year of his contract, we're in big trouble. And Arsenal are petrified of him leaving for nothing. So I think that there's going to have to be a breakthrough somewhere along the line. Marseille as well, by the way, did bid 30 million quid for him in the summer window. They wanted to keep him. He was a vital part of their team getting into the Champions League, and he was absolutely superb. I think he only got last season 6 yellow cards in the league. Actually, I think that might have been in all competitions. 6 yellow cards. Yeah, 3 of which, so half of his yellow cards were in the final 10 minutes of a game. That is insane. That tells me that you are not being run ragged in a football match. That tells me you're not doing stupidness like the bozo gene that he's standing next to. You're not pulling players back. You're not getting overrun, so you have to make a tactical foul and get booked. 3 of them 6 yellow cards are in the last 10 minutes of a game. I think 2 of them were in stoppage time. What a quality centre-back. And PSG have had first-hand knowledge of this guy. Obviously, he's French. He's played in the French league for many years. And now he's in the big spotlight in the Premier League. And he's been pretty decent, isn't he? Let's be real. Yes, he's made some errors. He made one at the weekend. Yes, he's made an own goal this season. But he's scored a couple of goals. He's been pretty flawless. If I was to rate his season so far, I'd give him an 8. Yeah, I think he's been absolutely brilliant. That's going to highlight around Europe as well, because there's going to be so many teams that want this guy. But now it's a case of how much do we get for him? If he doesn't want to sign that contract, we cannot let this guy go to the summer without signing that contract. So we got to kind of give him an ultimatum. That's the final offer, Mr. Saliba and your agent. You either sign it or we're selling you. But the vultures will be lurking, and we've got a proper player on our hands here. And I think that he doesn't owe Arsenal anything, does he? Let's be real. What does he owe to Arteta? Nothing. What does he owe to the football club? Nothing. You know, people always sit there because the likes of Watts, Benj and Wheatley, all these little Arsenal puppets that sit in the press conferences that tweet out anything that the club want them to tweet out. Ornstein's another one. This mosquito is going to get it in a minute. And yeah, they tweet out everything that the club want them to tweet out, which then gets the majority of people on side. And the story was his mum died, so he wanted to go back to France. Well, unless you know him or his family personally, how would you know that? Because I don't believe it. I genuinely do not believe it. This football club only tell you what they want you to hear. Yeah, real talk. And they manipulate and they lie, and they're compulsive liars, football clubs. And they are compulsive liars. Look at this whole Mason Greenwood thing. They knew about that a year nearly before it happened. Yeah, madness how that's been covered up for so long. But this is what happens at football clubs. These football clubs don't want to ruin and damage their reputation as a football club and how they're perceived to the masses online. I don't believe it was anything to do with that. I believe he weren't happy playing, and he wanted to play games. And let's be real, at the time we had Kolasinac, Mustafi, Socrates, Callum Chambers and Rob Holding all having a go at centre-back. Granit Xhaka as well in that time played centre-back for a few games. So why couldn't this kid play? So if I'm him, real talk, if I'm him, I'm going to PSG. You get a chance to play with Mbappe, Neymar, Messi. 3 of the best players to have, well, 2 of the best players to ever play football, and 1 who has the potential, but his bank balance is going to kill his potential real quick. But if I'm him, I'm going PSG. You're guaranteed to win something every year. You're guaranteed to compete in the Champions League. And you never know, with him in that team, they might actually go on and win the Champions League. Who knows? But I don't know. It's going to cost quite a lot of money for whoever buys him, because even if he goes down to the final year of his contract, yeah, and we want to get rid of him, it's still going to cost around 50 million quid with a year left, which is why if we're going to do anything, we need to get him signed up. That's ideal. Perfect. Let's sign this kid up. But does he want to stay at Arsenal after the 3 years of being out on loan? Does he want to stay at Arsenal when we're not going to win the league every year? Let's be real. We're not going to win it this year. And this is our best opportunity to win it. And we're still not going to win it. So if you're a footballer, it's a short career. He's 21 years old. What would you do? If you've got Marseille after you, you could potentially have Real Madrid and Barca coming in the summer. You've definitely got PSG in for you. What would you do as a 21-year-old playing for Arsenal Football Club when you're standing next to the Bozo gene? Yeah, and it's not going to end in title, because if it was me, I'm going PSG right now. January window, adios. See you later. Guaranteed the title. You get to play with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Yeah, that's what I'd do. But I'd love to know what you guys would do. Leave it in the comment section down below, and leave your thoughts and feelings. There is 2 other players that are, well, one was apparently signing the contract. We're going to sit down and have talks with him in the summer. And then all the chat came out before the season started about Bukayo Saka. Oh, it's verbally agreed. Okay, so why ain't it done then? We're now on the 19th of October at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Spanish time, and he ain't signed a new contract yet. Why? Arteta was asked in a press conference in April about it. Don't worry, we're sitting down in the summer to sort that out. Well, it's now nearly winter, mate. Another 12 days and the clock's turned, and we're in winter. I don't get it. I do think he will sign though, and I do think that he will sign on good money, and he deserves good money. To be fair to Saka, I think that the money that he's on, his performances, even when he's been bad, they still, over a course of a season, have ended up in 2 player of the seasons. So even if he has 10 bad games and he has 28 good games, it still ended up with him having 2 player of the season awards. He's scoring goals, he's creating goals. He is still a kid. However, if we don't win anything after he signs that contract within 2 years, he's gone and we'll get good money for him. So it is what it is. Gabriel Martinelli, very quickly before we wrap this up, make sure you smash the likes up as well. Follow the TikTok. Gabriel Martinelli is apparently demanding 200 grand a week to sign the contract. He's on 70, 80 grand a week at the moment. Wants 200 grand a week. Do you think he's worth 200 grand a week? Leave that in the comment section. But again, he is going to be a player that I personally think is our best player. Like when people say, oh, he's got a high ceiling. No, this guy has the potential to be a world-class footballer. Whether he turns out to be a world-class footballer depends on his next decision. Do you stay at Arsenal? Yeah, or do you leave and go and play with better players and compete and win and put yourself on the stage for winning trophies? Because I don't see Arsenal competing every year for a trophy or a title. I don't see it, unfortunately. There's nothing in our history to suggest that we will, especially under this manager and especially under the fact that we moved to the Emirates Stadium and won 4 FA Cups in, 16 years? That's 1 every 4 years we kind of win something. So, yes, the tide might have turned. Are we going to compete every year for a title? Probably not. And let's be real, a lot of these South American footballers, especially Brazilians, they want to play for one of Madrid or Barcelona. That's just a given. That's the dream. If you look how many Brazilians have played for them 2 clubs, the list is ridiculous. And the names of the players, we're not talking about Mickey Mouse footballers here. We're talking about the top tier of footballer. So Martinelli's a bit of a worry. Saliba's a bit of a worry. And yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on all of that. So leave that all down in the comment section. Out of the 3 of them, do you think any of them will leave at the end of the season in the summer window? Do you think any are leaving January if we get a good bid for them? How many of them do you think will sign a new contract out of the 3 of them? Leave all of that down below as well. I am back a little bit later. It's Claude's birthday today. Happy birthday to my buddy. Up having a heavenly birthday. And I'll be doing a live stream later on with Leanne, his daughter, and Kenny Ken. So come and check that out. I'll put the links out later on. It won't be on here. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for all of that. And all have a blessed Wednesday. Don't forget, tomorrow is match day. So yes, I will be back with a full match day program with Ola as well. So until then, I might be back later with a live stream. It depends how I feel. I'm a bit tired today. But I may be back later. We shall see. But until then, adios amigos. I'll fuera para siempre. Ciao, ciao, ciao.